so I made him afraid of his own shadow. When George lost his hearing from meningitis at 8 years old, he didn't retreat into silence. He looked at me and signed, "Guess I'll have to read your lips when you tell bad jokes now." He was grinning while he did it. Can you imagine? An 8-year-old kid loses one of his senses and his first thought is making sure I don't feel bad about it. That's George for you. 6 years later and he's still the same wisecracking kid who signs puns so bad they'd make you groan in any language. So naturally, I became his ears when he needed them. Walking him home from school, keeping an eye out for trouble, teaching his friends basic signs so they could join his roasting sessions. But I wasn't ready for Trevor. Trevor was the kind of walking testosterone advertisement who thought empathy was a foreign language. Star wrestler, truck with a lift kit, personality of a brick wall with anger issues. His dad was a cop who spent more time yelling than talking, and his mom had just filed for divorce. I was waiting for George at the bike racks after school when it happened. Trevor and his wrestling buddies were standing by the parking lot, and I saw Trevor notice George organizing his backpack with his back turned. Trevor said something to his friends, and they all laughed. Then he picked up a rock from the ground and threw it hard at George. It hit him square in the back, and George spun around confused and in pain. Trevor was cracking up. "Look, he didn't even hear it coming," he said, loud enough for everyone to hear. The school gave him a warning. That's it. Step 1, confusion. I started with his truck because it was his sanctuary. Every day after practice, I'd slip in and make small adjustments. Move his seat back 2 inches, drain exactly a quarter gallon of gas, adjust all his mirrors just enough to feel wrong, switch his preset stations by 1 number each. Within 2 weeks, he was taking photos of his odometer, marking his gas gauge with a Sharpie, spending 10 minutes checking and rechecking his mirrors before driving. I watched him from across the parking lot as he adjusted his rearview mirror for the 5th time. 17.3, it was 17.3 yesterday. How the fuck did I drive 4 miles? He slammed his fist on the steering wheel. I didn't go anywhere. Step 2, the sounds. His house backed up to woods, which made everything easier. I installed tiny speakers in the trees outside his window, the kind hunters use for animal calls. Every night at exactly 2:47 a.m., I'd play a recording of breathing, just breathing. 10 seconds, then silence. The first night he ignored it. The second night he checked his window. By the 5th night, he was sleeping with headphones on. But here's the thing about paranoia. Once it starts, silence becomes scarier than sound. So I stopped the breathing. He stayed awake anyway, waiting for it. I watched through his window as he sat up in bed, whispering, "Where is it? Why isn't it happening?" By week 2, I added footsteps on his roof. Just 3 steps, then nothing. He called the police twice. They found raccoon droppings I'd planted and told him to call an exterminator. Step 3, the inhabitant. Trevor's house had a crawl space accessible from his closet. During one of his wrestling tournaments, I spent 6 hours creating a living space down there. Brought in a sleeping bag, water bottles, energy bar wrappers. Left them slightly hidden, but findable. Then I started the evidence campaign. A missing sock would appear in the crawl space. Food from his fridge would vanish. The wrapper found in the walls. I'd leave condensation on the inside of the crawl space door, like someone was breathing in there. Cut tiny holes in his bedroom wall at eye level. The first time he found the setup, he screamed so loud the neighbors called the cops. His dad had to come to the scene. "There's someone living in my fucking walls, Dad. Look at this shit." His dad shined a flashlight around. "It's probably just some homeless guy from before you moved in. We'll seal it up." But Trevor knew the energy bar was his brand. The water bottle was from his fridge. After they sealed the crawl space, I kept leaving signs. Insulation pulled out from inside the walls. Scratching sounds from spaces